Hello guys, welcome to another driving test video. So this is our second driving test at Sheffield Middlewood Driving Test Center. Now this test was the next day from the last test, or which is the first test we did at Middlewood. So the first one was on the 26th and this is 27th, so literally the day after. And again, it was another pass, so very good one. And we had four minor faults, so 4 driving faults. So 2 faults for junctions, observation, 1 for moving off safety, and 1 for use of mirrors when changing speed. So let's watch the video and see if we can pick out any of this fault, and if at all there are any other things we can learn from the test, if any at all. So right here, the learner has pulled up pretty close to the pavement. Now, in some situations, you might get a minor fault for pulling up too close to the pavement. Now, this is to allow your tires the room to steer when you need to go out. I mean, in my own opinion, I've not been told that specifically by an instructor or by an examiner, but it would only make sense for that reason. But on a road this narrow, and considering that that pavement is a lowered one anyways, I really wouldn't be giving anyone a fault for that. So if I look at the faults on this test, there isn't really a fault for that situation, which is good. So yeah, nothing wrong with that. And here again is another pull up on the left exercise, and this time around the distance from the pavement is perfect, so no complaint at all with that. Very pleased. As you go in and out of this side roads into the main road and back into the side road again, make sure you're keeping an eye for the speed signs. As you see there, we came briefly into that 30 zone, which is on the main road. and then back left into the side road, which puts you back into a 20 zone. You don't want to be missing those signs and then confusing your speed limits, so keep that in mind. And so far, this is a very smooth drive, and we haven't been able to pick up any faults yet, which is very good. So let's continue with the video. Now, if your test was coming the opposite direction from this particular route, then you've got to pay attention to that stop junction. Remember that when you get to that junction, you should be coming to a complete stop. Make sure you're not just rolling through it. You should be stopping, stop there, and then maybe 2 seconds, 3 seconds later, if it's safe, you should continue. And her speed on this road has been pretty well, in my opinion. So between 30 and 40 miles an hour across the road, which has been good. I mean, examiner probably agrees the same, which is why we haven't got any fault at all. And she didn't mention anything to do with it, because sometimes you do have examiners, though they wouldn't give you a fault, but they might just say, though you could have made a bit more progress here or there, the stuff like that. But none of it was in this case. So which means, yeah, examiner was pretty comfortable and happy with the speed through the whole of this route. So yeah, that's very good as well. So keep in mind, I'm saying this because I don't want you to be on your test in this road and you're worrying about the national speed limit and you're trying to get to 60. It is never going to be safe. You got to consider the width of the road and the bend as well. That's got to be reflecting on your speed. So I would assume that she got one minor fault for that junction observation here. Now keep in mind that you have the sign there that gives priority to oncoming traffic at that point. So as you approach that, you also have the flow marking that says the slow down. So as you're coming towards this point, the bend is one other problem to deal with. So you should technically be actually reducing your speed as you approach that junction until you know it is safe to continue. Then you increase your speed, because that way it is safer and you're not having to do what she has done there. Now luckily it wasn't as bad, so I assume examiner gives a minor fault, because remember, if you go back to that video, it did affect the car behind and he or she had to suddenly stop as well. So but keep this in mind, approaching such situations, you know you're gonna have to give way anyways, because priority is for the oncoming traffic. So start preparing to stop until you're sure, and then you can continue safely. And here is another pull up on the left, and so far we can say that it has been consistent with our positioning to the pavement, so that has been very good. I can tick that off. That's well done. So at this point, they are coming to do the pull up on the right and reverse to car length. So this is going to be the maneuver, which means there is not going to be parking on this test. Now remember that if you have pulled up on the right the way she has done in this situation, which is actually straight and perfect from the pavement, don't play with your steering. Just keep it straight and reverse to car length, and of course monitor your surroundings as well as the pavement, just in case the road is actually bending and you're not aware of it. So but if it's a straight road, just go straight, reverse straight I mean, and you'll be just fine. Don't mess the steering up again. And if you have a situation with a pedestrian on the pavement like we just heard, now it's okay to keep moving as long as you keep the car very slow and your observation and attention is on that pedestrian. Now if that pedestrian was any closer to the edge of the pavement, then I would advise to stop and wait, allow the pedestrian pass and continue. But because he's on the inside of the pavement, that's okay. Now another thing also is, if it's a vulnerable person or it's a child, again I would advise you to stop. A vulnerable person like an older person, might be a little bit what can I use, but yeah, they might be a bit worried about the movement and all that. And if it's a kid, you're not going to be sure what they might do next. So just pay attention to how they're moving and what they're doing, and then you can make decisions accordingly. But it's not one size fits all. So it's important you know what you're doing and why you're doing what you are doing. And if you're following the same direction, remember that as you leave this junction, coming into this point, this road is a one way. Make sure you don't miss the sign. And as you turn right, remember to keep to your right because it's a one way. So situations like this can be confusing, remember, because no one has priority here. So make sure make good contact with the person on the opposite side and understand when it is safe to proceed if they're giving you way or if you're going to make the first movement. But make sure that there is that communication either by your eyes looking at each other as well as paying attention on the road. So, and also at the positioning there, I could have actually positioned more to the right. I would expect that because if it was in a heavy traffic or rush hour, that space could actually fit two cars. So if someone was to be turning left, they should be able to, use the left hand side to pull up, to move off and turn left. So you don't want to be holding traffic back. If you ask me, I'll probably assume maybe she wasn't too sure on time that was a one way. It is possible, it happens many times, but luckily she was in the middle space and she followed the bend in the end. So yeah, keep this in mind. Make sure when you're entering new roads or when you're leaving your current road, start looking out for signs because it's either going to be at the end of your current road or at the beginning of the new road. So always look out from that point. So don't forget guys, if you find these videos helpful and you find them useful, remember to please support the channel by liking the video, share the video, and remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. And if you like to support the channel financially, then there's also a thanks icon at the bottom of the video where you can actually do a little contribution towards the channel, and that would really be appreciated. So yep, let's get on with the video. Now actually this is coming towards the end of the test, so down this road is the test center, and so far it has been a very good drive. I must say the two learners we had in that 2 days, they were top notch. So very good drivers, and I'm very pleased with the driving and the fact that they actually kept the nerves cool and managed to do the same driving they've done through lessons in the test, on the test as well. So it was well deserving. So the previous one before this was 2 minor faults and we have 4 minor faults on this one. So it's been very good. So go girls or go ladies, this is it. So good job. So yep, don't forget again guys, please don't forget, like, share, subscribe to the channel. That would really help. So yep, let's get going. All right, and this is it. So they are back to the test center. So again, just to wrap it up, we had 4 minor faults on this test, 2 for junctions observation. We were probably only able to pick up 1, which was at that country road with the priority system, and then we can't really pick up the other one, unfortunately. And then we've got 1 for moving off, which is safety. So probably maybe didn't look over the blind spot over the shoulder, something like that, or maybe not an effective mirror check. One of that, again, we can't see that unless we were sitting in the car or if there was an interior facing camera, which is not allowed on a test. And the third one, which is use of mirrors, so change of speed. So probably when braking, she failed to check the mirror before braking. I don't know where that would have been. Again, we can't see, but I suspect, again, I mean, it could have been somewhere with that situational observation, but it has to be one of the two. So I'm more likely probably for that junction, because we couldn't see any other one at the junction. But really and truly, it wasn't bad at all. I am pleased with it. So, yep. But though I do believe, I mean, in a different situation, she could have actually come back with 0 faults, because the driver drives very good, like really well. So very confident. I was quite confident she was coming with a pass, although I had my heart a little bit crossed, because it does happen, your most or your best driver goes and then something goes wrong, either anxiety or nerves, or maybe you just are not so lucky that you meet a difficult situation on the road and you're not able to deal with it and you just overreact. Sometimes it happens. So, but yeah, in this case, we've been very, very blessed. I wouldn't say lucky. So, yeah. And this is it. So, first driving test attempt, and she's gone ahead to pass. So, very well done. Very good job. And that's it. So we're coming to turn right into the test center now, and that's the end of the test. So keep in mind, again, I remind you, please support the channel, like the video, leave a comment below if you've got any questions about the test or about lessons or anything at all. Leave a comment below. I'll try my best to get back to them. And subscribe to the channel again if you haven't. So thanks again for watching. All the best with your driving lessons, and best of luck with your test when it comes. So I am out. Stay blessed. Peace.